Randolph High School was one of the first high schools in the country to offer the AP Capstones program to students. AP Capstones equips students with the independent research, collaborative teamwork, and communication skills that are valuable to colleges. It also cultivates curious, independent, and collaborative scholars and prepares them to make logical, evidence-based decisions.
The AP Capstone program is the most unique and college-ready experience a student can have in high school. As someone who just completed 2 master's degrees and had to do a tremendous amount of research in that process, I felt like this experience for a high school student would bring them right through their undergraduate and potentially graduate skills if they decide to further their education. They're going to come out of the program with such a strong understanding of how to conduct research and how to form arguments that they will not experience in other classes. And it's also a co-curricular class, so it allows students to demonstrate all of the skills that we would practice in an English class, but under the subject matter that interests them most, which is really unique, and it really makes it a student-centered experience.
The AP seminar course is designed to have students investigate real-world issues from multiple perspectives. These students learn to synthesize information from different sources, develop their own lines of reason in research-based essays, and design and deliver oral and visual presentations both individually and as part of a team.
The class is research, public speaking, and argument all together. So first semester, we run through the 4 different tasks that students are required to perform as part of their College Board assessments. And we do that by laying a foundation of what is an argument, how is an argument delivered, and how can you find valid evidence from reputable sources, legitimate sources, to validate those arguments. Once we go through them in terms of the written portions that they'll have to experience as part of the College Board exam in May, we also go through the performance tasks that they do individually and as a group all through the first semester. Once the first semester is over, we begin prepping for the College Board formal assessments. So they're pretty much on their own. So I go from being a really kind of one-on-one teacher to supporting and directing them, cheering them on as they kind of go through the process themselves.
This class has really helped me because of its the course load in it. It's really interactive with the students, so it helped me to develop the skills that I touched upon earlier. We do a lot of presenting, so that kind of forced me into becoming a better public speaker in order to succeed in the class. Organizationally, it was very driven in terms of your due dates. We had one large due date, and then we had to figure out how to get our work done through that, and I think that really benefited me organizationally in both this class and my other classes.
So it's the most student-paced course that I've ever taken. So it's prepared me in the sense that I structured my due dates, I picked what I wanted to research, and it just helped me a lot with my time management skills, and it also prepared me with presentation skills and just how to speak to others.
The AP Research course is designed for students to further their skills acquired in AP Seminar. Students explore an academic topic, problem, or issue of individual interest, where they then design, plan, and conduct a year-long research-based investigation to address the research question they have chosen.
Our course is more focused on students taking initiative and getting involved in research firsthand. So you would design your own research question about a topic that you have interest in. And there's really a wide variance in what we see. Some students focus in on athletics and maybe mental health. Other students maybe do film analysis, and they look at films to see in the way characters may be portrayed, and a lot of other topics that we can see. So really it's a more self-exploration kind of a course, is how I kind of phrase it. It allows students to have freedom to explore topics that they're interested in, learn more about them, and at the same time create a really cohesive paper and really add to a field in a certain way. It really gives students a great opportunity to learn academic skills that they can use outside of high school, whether it be in college, vocational programs. Students learn how to communicate with others, they learn how to plan, they have to create their own schedule to conduct their own research. It's really a self-driven course. Myself and my co-teacher are really just there kind of as guides. We're just there to make sure students are on track We're not really allowed necessarily to give them direct feedback. It's really a self-driven process, and it's only at the end when they bring in their final projects that we get to see what that culmination looks like. So it really gives students initiative. They learn how to plan for themselves, which is a critical skill when they go on to post-secondary education.
So I've definitely learned like good time management skills and like being able to communicate with others, but I've also like learned how to like work with my peers well, because the teachers, they can't look over your work. So even though technically you're by yourself, you're still with the like other kids in your class, because they can't really give you advice since it is considered an AP test. So I learned how to like you have to rely on your peers and they rely on you. So it's a lot of like working together as like a group, even though you're all doing your separate thing.
I think in general, it just really helps with communication skills and like with other people, because depending what your work is, you may need like help from someone or something like that, and you need to be able to like ask them for help, or maybe you need to present something and it helps with those skills as well. So I think it just really helps also build your confidence in your own ability to do this sort of stuff.
Well, it's actually really interesting because I just graduated with my doctorate, and essentially what they're doing is like a mini dissertation. Like they're basically doing everything that I did, just on a smaller scale. So I think it really helps to prepare them if they want to go, you know, to college and then go get their master's or get their doctorate. They're really set up for that. But I also think, you know, depending on the type of research they're doing, it helps them with like their interpersonal skills. They have to have conversations with people. They have to learn how to interview people. And I think that those sorts of things are kind of invaluable because it's something that they're not always doing, like having those conversations with people that they don't always know. I think that's a huge skill that they definitely gain from that. And again, like one of the biggest skills I think is confidence, right? And like learning that comes from within, and like being able to like look at the work that you're doing and realize that there's value in that.
Well, from everything from their other classes to, you know, if they further their education in college or grad school or beyond, to their careers, this class will prepare them. They have to be able to manage their time personally on an individual level, but also they have to work with others. They have to conduct research on their own, even just so far as like being able to watch the news or read a newspaper or something along those lines, and be able to decipher whether there's bias present or whether there is some sort of agenda or slant, or if the argument is not sound. This class will prepare them, even in terms of public speaking. Students in this class are used to engaging in an impromptu kind of situation, because at the end of each presentation, they're asked a question by me regarding their process or regarding their argument, and they have to defend it right then and there. I imagine that like if they were going to do some sort of dissertation eventually, like some kind of situation where they'd have to do that, these skills would come in handy immediately.
So the students at the end of the course, and our students right now are in the process of it, they can actually publish their works into student magazines and journals that will then go out and be peer edited. So students get to be able to put on their college resumes that they are published journalists. Their research also allows for new explorations in fields. So one of the requirements in order for it to be appropriate for the course is that it has to address a certain gap in the research. It can't be something that has already been studied by somebody else. They have to find a unique piece, something new, and it could be the population that's being observed, or it could be something completely different where they find a breakthrough in whatever field it may be. Some schools do really intensive projects. We try to do that as well. We try to do as many interviews or different modalities for research. And it allows the students to get experience not only in just planning and organization and research methods, but it also allows them to become more connected to their community and to a greater topic.